Hi, Lawrence here. In this video, I'm going to talk about custom processing in the identifier extension. And this video is for the extension version 2. There's an upgrade from version 1 on how to create the processor. I'll go to that later. But first, I want to start from the beginning, explaining why we need custom processing. So in this identifier extension, it comes with the default query processor, which extract the query param from the URL as data. So for example, in this query, which has the data query param, so we'll extract it here. But as you can see, sometimes these query param are not useful by just extracting it. Say here the data param is base64 encoded, so we can't really do anything about it. It's not readable. So in cases like this, we will want to do some custom processing. So in this case, we want to decode it so that it's readable and it's good for analysis. So how do we do it? So in this version 2 of the extension, we can create the custom processor right within the extension. So let's do it. So to do it, we will want to look at the detail of the URL, the traffic that you want to process. Say this, just click on the traffic and then do inspect. So when you do inspect, it will get the traffic information of the traffic you click on, and then go to the processors section, and then here we'll click add here. So now we click on the local checkbox, which means we're creating a processor that's local to this browser, to this extension. So this processor will be stored locally inside the extension, instead of hosting outside, like this query processor that's hosted outside. We will create a local processor here. Processor contains 3 parts, which is the name for display purpose. So here we will call it mixed panel because it's a mixed panel tracking call. Okay. And the namespace is for unit identification purpose. I will just call it mixed panel, same, and put it here as well. So now let's do that. So now we have created the like an empty dummy processor which just return an empty object. What we want to do is to get the data param here in this traffic, and then decode it, and then return it as a key value pair in the process function. So we can test it right now. Just click the process here. So it returns an empty object, which is expected, which is right from here. So let's edit it. I'll do it here together with you. So let's start. So first, we want to get the data query string, the value of the data query string. So let's do it. So we will just create a param called data, and then we loop through the traffic get the traffic, and then dot request. And then from request, it's under query string. So this is an array, so I'll just look for it with sum. So once we get it, we will exit. The name, there's a value. Okay. If name equal to data. Okay. I will say data equal to decode URI component value. Okay, then just return true here. Okay, the end the loop. Okay, so and if it doesn't exist, just return it. Return an empty object. It's not there. Okay. Okay, now let's try it. Oh, maybe we can try it right now just to see it's working as expected. Data is data. Okay, save it and then process it. Okay, so see, now we get the data string. So now it's time to decode it. Okay, if it's there, then if it exists, then let's do a base64 decode. Okay, save it, process. Oh, sorry, this is data. Process. Okay, so now we see that after it's decoded is basically a JSON string, which has a top level event key with this value, and then the properties key, which is an object itself. Okay. So let's do it. So we will need to JSON pass it. Okay. Now after JSON pass it, data becomes an object, so we don't have to wrap it like this here. Okay. Process. Okay, so now you see that we only have the event key here because it ignores a non-string value because the properties is an object, so it ignores that property. So what I think I'm gonna do is to set the properties, set the event, top level event to the properties, and then return that properties here so that it's one single level key value object. Let's see. Okay, so now you see that the event is here and the rest of the properties here. So let me do one more thing. Because we're doing JSON pass, let's do a try catch just to make sure just to make sure it doesn't freak out. Okay, data will be equal to an empty object. Okay, like this. Okay, save it. Do it again. Okay. So now we have finished the Mixpanel processor. So let's use it. Let's use it. So what we're gonna use? How we're gonna add this custom processor to the traffic profiling here? We click on the edit of this profile rule, and we just add Mixpanel. See that Mixpanel in the processor here, and then because query we don't use it, we don't need it, we remove it and do a restart of the page. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now you see that we have used the custom processor on this Twitch tracking and successfully extract and decode this data program using our custom processor to get back these values. Let's go back to this processor. So you see that we have this Mixpanel, the code we created, and then if something went wrong, you can always click on the one that doesn't work as expected and click inspect and try it out. Try to see if there's anything wrong, and you can update the code here and test it. And also you can edit the inspecting traffic here. You can edit it here as much as you like to try it out to test it. Say for example, now I mess up the data. Update, now process it. So you see that it can't be base64 encoded anymore. So okay, so it will freak out here. So let's update again back to the original one. Okay, now it's back. Another way of do you remember when we create the processor, we click on the local? So we can still use the other way, which is having the processor hosted outside. So previously, we have a limit on which domain this external processor can be hosted, but in this version 2, there's no such limitation anymore. I work around that. So now you can put in any URLs, even when the processor doesn't return back as application JSON or JavaScript content type like this one. It will still work. So let me remove this one. So once we remove it, you see that we don't have the Mixpanel anymore. Now I am creating another Mixpanel, and get it from an external processor. Okay, so now the Mixpanel custom processor is externally hosted here. So let's process it. So it still works. It works. The local processor and external processor, they work the same way. So Now let's try to edit again. Okay, now refresh the page. See, so it works. Another way of developing the processor. So you have seen that we can use the local processor and develop it right inside the develop it right inside the extension, like here. But then we can actually, if you don't want to do it here, you can download this traffic and develop it locally. So what you're going to do is click the export here. So when you do the export, it will download the traffic for you. So say it will be something like this that you've downloaded, which is the same object as in here. So you can use this object to test the processor you created locally, and then host it somewhere else, and then you can either host it somewhere else and put the URL here, or copy the code that you created locally and paste it here. Just to reiterate, the data created here can be used as much as you like. So say I want to look at the channel, and then also the player value, and yeah, let's look at these two and click the data here. So, and then also the event, maybe. Yeah, let's do the event too, just to see. So now the processed data output by the custom processor can be used as the same as the query processor that come with the extension. There's no difference. So in this way, you see that we extract the data, query param, custom process it, and then we extract the value inside, and then we're able to do the data analysis as a table like before. That's it for this video. Thank you.